Prime Hydration, launched by KSI and Logan Paul in early 2022, has made a significant impact in its sector. Within its first year of trading, it has already been dubbed the sixth largest sports drink brand in the US, and has sold over 110 million bottles. The sports drink market, valued at around $4.59 billion, is highly competitive with major players such as Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Our previous video delved into Prime Hydration's ownership structure, dispelling the misconception that KSI and Logan were not the true creators of Prime. An estimate that KSI, Logan, Max, and Trey each hold around 20% equity in the company. Our goal is to assess the potential for KSI and Logan to attain billionaire status through their 20% equity in Prime. This would entail a buyout from either Coca-Cola or Pepsi, who dominate the market with a 90% share. To be considered for purchase by these two, a company needs to attain a minimum of 5% market share in its sector. Based on this criterion, Prime Hydration would need to generate annual sales of approximately $230 million. At its current rate of growth, the company is well on its way to meeting this requirement already. However, despite these pretty healthy revenues, there are still several challenges that the company must address before it can be considered as a viable acquisition candidate. Prime faces challenges in meeting customer demand despite support from Congo brands for production and Molson Coors for its distribution. The imbalance between supply and demand affects the accuracy of sales figures, hindering the calculation of the company's exact market share. Precise sales figures are essential in determining the company's market standing and potential, particularly for a buyout scenario. Addressing the supply-demand imbalance is imperative for a successful buyout as it enables the generation of accurate sales figures, providing potential buyers with a clear understanding of the company's market position and potential. Second is their branding. Despite their efforts to focus on its unique qualities and health benefits, the current demand for the product is primarily driven by the hype around Logan and KSI. If Prime were to be sold now, the buyer would essentially be acquiring KSI and Logan's brand, rather than the product itself. To establish its own identity and differentiate itself from competitors, Prime must establish its brand value beyond its celebrity endorsement. Which brings us to our third point, pricing. Prime currently carries a price tag of $2 per bottle, which is considered premium in its niche. Despite the premium pricing, consumers are currently willing to pay due to the hype surrounding the product. However, as all hype eventually subsides, Prime must reevaluate its pricing strategy to sustain sales. In comparison, leading competitors Gatorade and Powerade have average prices of $1.35 and $1.10 respectively, approximately 70 cents cheaper than Prime. However, this is not a significant issue thanks to the implementation of economies of scale. As Prime ramp up production and meet demand, economies of scale can lower production costs and make the product more affordable for consumers. By ramping up production, Prime can take advantage of bulk discounts on raw materials, which translates to reduced costs and a more competitive pricing strategy. And finally, ownership. The ownership structure of Prime Hydration has been subject to speculation, but what matters to investors is the fact that the current owners do not have a majority stake in the brand. A potential acquisition scenario could follow a similar path as the acquisition of Body Armor, where the owners agree to a strategic partnership and maintain their current roles as distributors rather than owners. A minority stake purchase is also a possibility. Coca-Cola's acquisition of Body Armor serves as an example, where they made an initial 15% purchase 5 years prior to acquiring the company fully. Prime, with its revenue of $200 million, could be valued at roughly $800 million, following the common industry standard of 4x annual sales as seen in the acquisition of Body Armor by Coca-Cola. With continued growth and successful resolution of challenges, Prime has the potential to reach a multi-billion-dollar valuation, making Logan and KSI the first YouTube billionaires.